comes to audio equipment. Alright, so are you ready?
Yeah. Both players are good. Alright, and both parties gave us the go-go.
Up before you go.
Alright.
Alright, so are you ready?
Yeah.
Alright. Output volumes are all set. I have you loud and clear on my end. I just want to make sure I'm outputting everything as possible. You might have to turn up your input volume a little bit, Snow, but other than that, do this.
Okay. I can actually physically move my...
Because I have you turned all the way up, so...
Okay, let's see if I can get my input volume up.
Check in your settings for Discord. Stuff up there.
Okay.
Like your input volume.
Alright.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, finally, after some rather annoying Microsoft issues with audio and trying to get OBS to straighten out and work with it, I finally got my co-caster Snow here with me. We're gonna load into the first match. Will be a TVZ in the Platinum divisions. The first map will be Ascension to Ire. Spawning into the bottom right-hand corner of Ascension to Ire is the blue Terran Pieces. From Insight Gaming, it is Tyler. Pushing a GLHF to his teammate there. And on the other side of the map, we have the pink Zerg Pieces of Good Target from Psionic Aftermath. And with that, I'll hand it off to Snow here to give us a bit of a rundown.
Alright, so first of all, we got Tyler going for gas first. Not typical of a 2-1-1, so he may be going for a more technological focus. And Good Target sends the drone down for the 17 expand. Both look like reasonable standard builds out of both our players. We're gonna see how they change it up as the game goes on.
Yeah, I will say Tyler is a very standard player. He doesn't really do anything crazy right away. It'll probably be more late game you'll see anything.
So I am wondering what Tyler's gonna do with all this gas.
If I know anything about Tyler, after he gets his orbital here, he will wind up going into a Reaper that's on seen so far, and it will be a factory to follow up. Meanwhile, something coming down from the Zerg player here, Good Target, that I actually enjoy seeing out of Zerg players nowadays, and that is the Drone Scout. Not relying on the Overlord too much to get across, that'll be coming into play later. As the drone will come down here, you see exactly what is going on from Tyler, as a Reaper should pop out. There we go. See where the Reaper is going to head in here. Set to rally, so he's not going to be able to pick off that free drone.
It's unfortunate. So good target is gonna. Oh,
But he does get the wall off. He does get the wall off. Our good target is actually going to get to work on the SCV and the natural. Thanks for the follow,
Yes.
Brian.
See if that Reaper is gonna come back home.
Looks like he's very committed with this Reaper, actually. Actually has a Marine out, so he's able to defend that. Does delay his natural quite a bit, though. His first queens are popping out in the natural. We have speed on the way, as well as the Overlord speed. Something else I like to see is our players get very early in the game, as it does provide that early easy scout for Overlords.
Yeah, the lings are late. Unfortunately, Tyler will not come in quite yet.
Yeah, this Reaper's been sitting out here for a good 40 seconds now. Almost losing out to that Queen. Clearly not channeling the spirit of Beyond, who would take that Queen and destroy it with one Reaper.
And,
we do see the first few
coming out.
Speed and Carapace about to finish up, actually.
And actually, the way he's moving this Overlord into position, maybe he wants to do some ling drops, nice fast Bane nest.
Overlord looks pretty far out to be dropping anything right now. Is there an Evo chamber on the way? There is a Baneling nest on the way, but there's no Evo chamber.
No Evo. The third coming down at a nice location.
Reaper will end up getting picked off before it gets home.
He does have a bunker though with only 1 Marine. Evacuating the natural. Afraid that good target's gonna commit there.
Not these lings are just hanging out right now, so actually got a couple more lings on the way. What if he's here we go, he's finally gonna commit up. There are 5 Marines in play here to deflect this. As these Marines are gonna wind up chasing. I realize he's chasing, he's just gonna put him in the bunker. Surprised there's not a wall off really started here yet. There's no depots on the way. There we go.
And the double Evo chamber, pretty fast at a good target. Looks like he wants to really macro up, go into the late game.
As a lair is on the way, which we will be seeing that Ling Bling Muta, which is actually interesting. Got 2 gas.
I wonder if he will go Muta. He doesn't seem to have the gas income for it just yet.
Looks like he's gonna go more Hydras, as there's no Roach Warren out yet, and he's getting +1 range.
Hydra's a newer style against Terran, but very effective.
Actually seeing this style come into play quite a bit in both TVZ as well as ZVP.
So he does have the tech lab on the factory, so he will have a nice response to those Hydras with tanks, assuming he starts the production.
The Spire is on the way, so I wonder if this is just an accidental upgrade he got here for his ground units, because he's getting melee and range.
Yeah,
he has started to Spire. He just threw down 2 more gas as well. But other than that, worker count is pretty far behind actually for Tyler, 36 to 52. His army supply is reflective of that, as he does have a little bit more army out currently. As we do see a drop heading around the north side of the map here that will get spotted by this Overlord.
Let's see if he does not change his camera over, so we probably did not end up seeing that.
We don't see any response just yet. Only 3 queens out here. Infestation pit as well.
Infestation pit as well. Could be going for that fast ultra attack.
I really wish Tyler would have dropped on the outside edge there first before coming in. However, he is getting on top of his drone line. Queen is getting focused down. His 5 drones have already gone down. A 6 on the way as well. Spire just now finishing up. He's going to get to work on that Spire as a drone line in the main has finally been pulled. Queen at half health, and he's finally focusing down the Spire with everything. He will get the Spire here. He just looks like he's going to try and pick up and get on out of here. As these broodlings are keeping him trapped.
Rough for good target. He loses his tech. Fortunately, his infestation pit lived, and he only lost 6 drones.
Yeah, but losing that Spire does hurt quite a bit. As he does take a 4th in the south, however, so It kind of bounces out there as he does expand again, and he does a sport crawler in the back now, making sure that doesn't happen again. And he is looking like he is moving out on the map, as his drop is going to make its way right back in towards the main, as he's responding to a push coming up on the north side here. But it's one Zergling, the Heroling.
Yeah, one Zergling, but nice delay on the command center. 23 Banelings on the way.
Our drop once again in the main base of good target as more drones are going to get focused down here. 4 drones have gone down already. Tyler getting a lot done. Burrow is on the way as well, actually. I wonder if he... Yeah, he's going to focus down that layer.
Yeah,
Few Lings make its way into the main.
Get it? Oh, but he doesn't have many Lings.
Where is his army? Okay, the Banelings are finally coming back in here. This is going to be very close. Tyler picking up everything he can, and this medevac is actually getting helped... beat on by a sport crawler, as he loses about 1 Marine for about 3 Banelings, it looked like. The sound of things.
He gonna... Oh, he might lose that medevac. Not quite. He gets out with it.
That's a full medevac. He's actually going to drop down here. There's a tank in the mix somewhere. Oh, he lost a medevac. Amazing how sound effects sound the same. He's going to pick off a queen for his trouble. He'll get a second one, as he's making sure his medevac doesn't get picked off.
And it looks like good target is just committing.
Well, these Marines are all stacked up. These Banelings are going to roll right on top of this army.
No
he loses all his Banelings, but he stays... Tyler loses practically everything there. As this drop in third is finally going to get cleaned up.
So it is important to note that Tyler has no upgrades. He did not drop an eBay and is going up to 4 more racks without getting it.
He's actually really oversaturated in his main right now as well.
Oh yeah.
48 workers on a mineral line there.
So he's up in army, but if he gets... Oh, he actually remade the Spire a good target.
So he does have his rally point set what looks like his third from his main, but he's really oversaturated again. He's 31 and 16 workers here.
Yeah, he needs to actually get his another expansion in order to utilize his worker count. So right now, even though he's pretty even on workers, he's pretty down on income.
The Zerglings are making their way back out on the map here. Boxing out single Lings. Always fun to see Lings get boxed out like that. Heading towards the 4th base that has just been thrown down. He will get the scout on this. It should also be able to kill the SCV.
Well.
It looks like he's moving towards the south, completely away from this. He's going to bring his entire army up to respond to this 1 Zergling.
Actually, the double expand, canceling the top one.
Right underneath the Overlord, too. That's so BM. It says, hey, I'm going to move my X-Post you scouted to this other location that has been scouted.
Double come down.
Well, if this army wasn't spotted, will be now at the Zelnaga watchtowers, as there are Zerglings here just kind of hanging out as Banelings are going to start being morphed. Units finally joining into the mix with a hive as well on the way.
+2. No missile turrets in any of his bases.
I'm still rather curious as to why we're getting +2 ranged attack here for ground units.
Maybe
does he even have...
plans.
He doesn't even have Carapace done.
Carapace is pretty important versus Marines.
He's actually starting his +1 area that's just finished up, but I'm a little bit confused. He does have Baneling speed on the way. Tyler finally realizing he needs some engineering bays and is getting his upgrade started as well. So is pushing into the 3rd base here in the south. Does split up pretty well there as the Banelings should get cleaned up. There's a few Marines here that won't be able to throw off all these mutas, but reinforcements are on the way.
Yeah, it's important he doesn't lose these mutas. They're very expensive.
He's actually losing crew already. His 2 drones have fallen as well. Lings are getting rallied in, and he's in between the rally points of the Zerg right now, which is actually huge. Because that just makes it that much harder to clean up, as the mutas should get picked off here for free. There you go. Drones evacuating to the 4th line, as they will rally back to continue mining at that drone line, or mineral line. As 10 drones have fallen, I love it.
Floating a ton of minerals, really needs the lava.
He's really just committed more to 6 more mutas here. 10 Lings. That's not going to be nearly enough to stop this push from Tyler.
He does have 2.
As he's just going to move into the natural. He does have 2 too, but he doesn't have Carapace.
And he also doesn't have units, so a 2-2
This
will
should
not
be
do much
it.
for him.
As his Vita pack won't stand up to these Marines, that's for sure, as soon as he jumps on top of them all. As he splits them up, which he has, it looks like he's cleaning up majority of the Marines. Loses his natural expansion, however.
Yeah, and 14 drones go down, 2 bases.
And 1-1 just finished up for Terran, by the way, so this really just strengthens his push even more.
And the Hive is only on 500 health. He can focus that down very easily. And then Good Target's gonna have nothing. He's gonna
panicking
have...
actually. He's actually panicking. He's throwing down spine crawlers in the south.
Yeah, it's game though. Those aren't enough.
Once he loses his tier 3 tech, that should be it.
The burrow on
The burrow on the
drones.
drones. As these Banelings are gonna roll in here and get some decent connections, but not nearly enough to clean it up.
Yeah.
GG should be called here shortly. There it is.
Yeah.
As Tyler will take game number 1.
And we go, a good TVZ coming out for first match of the evening.
Chat here going, rip, make more bases, target. Nah. Anyways, Tyler takes game number 1. We'll be right back with game number 2. It will be Psionic Aftermath map pick once again. Get target out of here.
So I'm gonna see if I can get our next player in game.
Yo, James Wise, thanks for the follow, good sir. It was rather interesting watching that game actually because we saw Terran get upgrades very, very late. And as more of a macro style play, which Tyler does seem to do, he does wind up overpowering Zerg later as the game goes on. Especially with Zerg, it just kind of plays really passive like that.
I definitely think it was just a mistake getting those upgrades. But in the end, he just more units tend to beat less units, and that's what ended up happening. Looks like the chat is asking us to turn off always health bars. That option is very good in game, but it can be a little bit hard in as a viewer to see.
It's something I always left on. Never thought about it.
Yeah, I use it. I think it's good. It helps, but I understand the viewers who don't want it. So,
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
okay.
Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to take care of a quick conversation. Anyway, tonight is Pro League format, which means everybody gets one game and then you're out. It is not all kill format. Just to clear that up. As we wait for our next platinum player from Psionic Aftermath to come in.
So, actually, our next platinum player has gone offline. So,
Okay.
so we can sub in, but can't find anyone available. Would you mind? I off-race Zerg, so I can play platinum. Um, if that's, I can keep looking, but I don't think we have another option. I don't see any other platinums that are good to go in our clan.
Let me clear that up real quick.
Sorry that I'm not gonna be able to cast with you.
I'll move you up. You're fine. You need a map from this. Okay, sorry, it's taking a little while to get going here. Apparently, Psionic Aftermath is going to be summing in their next player. Apparently their next Platinum player has gone offline. Okay, so next map is going to be Blood Boil, folks. It'll be loading in here very shortly. Waiting on the Newblings ready up here. We will start. Thank you very much for the follow, Daunted. Alright, we got to go. Here we go, folks. Alright guys, we're back with game number 2. As Insight Gaming is up currently 1-0 in the series. Spawning into the top left-hand corner of Blood Boil. Looking to tie the series up at 1 apiece is the pink Zerg pieces of Snow, who will not be joining me to cast this game as he is playing currently. Spawning into the bottom right-hand corner is the pink Protoss pieces from Insight Gaming. It is Noobling. The Blood Boil, one of the more awkward maps in the map pool currently. They did make some changes to it. The gold base down here is now blue on both sides. As Noobling is throwing down a gateway to start off, as we so far will see a drone finally going to the back here to start the expo, expanding back, taking that safe expo. Which is actually incredibly overpowered for Terran and Zerg and Protoss in general because he hit 20 workers back here over the General 16. Actually a few bases like that. As the Overlords are going to make their way across the map. No drone scout on the way, there it is. We have okay, he is going to scout across the map there. You see Noobling going gas next before a Cybernetics core. Gas actually seeded a little bit late. Sun Ice Core should be thrown down here. I think there's actually a ball there. Opening in that base. Base's drone might... Yep, drone does slip through. You will see exactly what is going on. There's only 2 gas geysers. Nobody mining gas just yet. You will spot the Nexus in the back as well. Meanwhile, on the other side of that, Pool is about to finish up with 1 gas geyser down. So very standard opening so far all around. But the second gateway is not quite yet on the way. Still is about to pop out, however, to complete this wall off. So a little bit about Noobling as a player. Noobling is can be a very greedy player, or he can be a player that just goes for all the tech in the book. Not too sure about Snow, however, he does start out speed, so he looks like so far a very standard player as he does start his 2 queens. We'll see a pylon being thrown down the back here for that vision. Other than that, Warp Gate has been started up as the Adept is out. Actually, is Zealot missing? Zealot goes somewhere else. Yeah, Zealot's missing. He canceled the Zealot by the looks of it. Made an Adept instead to wall off. So far, no aggression from either player just yet, as the Overlords are looking like they're getting into position to drop here. This could be a very easy Ling drop in the back. As we do see 2 Overlords on the way with a Baneling Nest, which we will be seeing the Overlord Baneling drops. As there is an Overlord in position here to make that happen. Meanwhile, in the back, Robo and Twilight Council on the way. So it looks like we're going to be seeing more of a Warp Prism play, possibly Charge Lots. Maybe that Resonating Glaives. Not quite sure just yet. We'll have to wait and see how this unfolds. Meanwhile, 3rd hatchery is on the way for Snow. As 8 Lings are also about to pop out. Looks like they are actually rallied across the map. We're into the main. Question is, Noobling didn't really scout this at all, so Noobling has no idea what's coming. And the fact that he didn't scout is something that I actually was harping on about last night about this. Is you don't know what you're dealing with. So, he does have a Stalker out. He's more or less trying to blind counter this aggression, as there is a Stalker here to deflect this Overlord. As the Lings are about to make their way across the map, and that 3rd hatch is about to finish up. There's actually a big Lings down. It looks like it will be hitting from 2 different angles. Mothership is on the way, is on patrol here. Question is, will Mama Core be able to spot this and deal with this? As the 2nd gateway will finally be thrown down. +1 melee attack, however, is on the way. Things are in position, or Lings are in position here. Looks like they changed their plan and is going up as Warp Prism will be spotted headed out across the map. There's actually a lot of Lings. There's a lot of Lings in play, folks. There's actually 58 Lings currently on the map. He does have to drop a Lord all the way, which means he will be hitting from 2 different angles here, front and back. As the next swarm of Lings actually looks like it's heading around towards the back part of the base here to come up the back. Possibly to work on these rocks, or maybe just come right up and rally up at the front of the army here, make sure there's nothing else that could be caught here. As the first drop is on its way into the main base. See precisely how much damage he's done, as there is a Stalker here. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, 3 drones have fallen to this Warp Prism so far. Are Zealots in play? Lings had to become home to help defend this. Zealots are going to get surrounded here with 3 more. They should also be surrounded very easily. Warp Prism actually missing and only getting 3 drones for his trouble. It begs the question, was this worth it? As there is a Baneling bust happening at the front, as the Stalker in the back does get cleaned up. And the only thing left here to defend is this Adept and a Mothership Core, which is horribly out of position currently. As the Lings in the main have not yet been cleaned up, as the Baneling Buzz does come down. Disabling the pylon. Turning off this Warp Gate as 3 more Lings are coming in. 6 probes have already fallen so far as they made their way into the mineral line 15. And then 20 plus have also died working on the Nexus now. Meanwhile in the back there is more probes falling to a couple Lings in the mineral line. As there are a lot of Warp Gates here, but there is nothing warping in as Noobling just doesn't have the money and will GG out. We'll be right back with game number 3 in the series. As the series I do believe is tied up 1 apiece. Yeah, bro, that was mean.
I mean, he went for a 2-base trick slot attack as well.
True.
So we both sort of had the same idea. Just a lot of links. That's all I can say.
I will say he just didn't scout, and I feel that's one of his biggest problems is not scouting. As we get our first diamond player in here.
See, our first diamond player is
All the mechanical keyboards.
mine. Actually, is not mechanical. It's just very loud.
Fair enough. I remember a lot of older keyboards were like that too. They were just really loud. They weren't exactly mechanical.
I just ordered a mechanical keyboard because this keyboard is massive. It's too big for my desk. So I got a mechanical one. I think it'll actually be quieter. Like this one.
I'm actually using a Chroma, a Tournament Edition Black Widow Chroma. So like I
I
don't have
looked
my
at that.
numpad.
I got one without a number.
Is Spino the next player for you guys?
Yeah, Spino is the next one. Oh, it's CVZ.
Got to go, and here we go. Next matchup is indeed a ZVZ.
Now, let's see if there's ever a third base taken.
As we know, a lot of ZVZs are over in about 5 minutes anyway.
Yeah. I would be surprised, especially in a this isn't a necessarily competitive tournament, but even minor competing, I don't think either of these players are going to go for a third.
We'll find out as we'll get these introductions on the way. Spawning into the top left-hand corner of Odyssey LE is these purple Zerg pieces of Spino. Through Psionic App. Down the bottom right-hand corner, both players look to take the lead here, but red Zerg pieces for Insight Gaming. It is Manor-Kid. As we do have Manor-Kid looking like a very cheeky drone, or maybe just a scouting drone heading out. We'll soon find out. This is very
safe, or he's gonna proxy hatch.
That is very early indeed.
Although
spawning pool is on the way for Spino. Yes, Spino does have pool first.
He has it rallied right into the main base, so I think probably not going to be a proxy hatch.
Early scout. He does go hatch first on his end of the map, however.
Odyssey, a
proxy
medium length map.
Looks like he's here just to block the natural from going down, as Spino will be forced to take his third base somewhere else.
I would like to see Spino take the gold. That would be a bit risky, but also a nice response to an early block.
As Manor-Kid realizes he's not going to be able to block the third base, he's going to come in here and scout around and see exactly what he's going to find. Both players being pretty standard so far, minus the pool first from Spino.
But that's a nice safe opener. He's not going to look to lay on too much aggression, just be extra safe against any cheese that Manor-Kid could be doing.
Meanwhile, back home, as the spawning pool did go down after Spino's, his pool is pretty far behind. About to finish up here shortly, though. The hatchery is about to finish up as well.
But actually, an important note is that Manor-Kid is going to get his gas much faster. Which may not make a difference, but and that's a cheeky move. The spine crawler going down.
As the Lings are just rallied right past it. They're actually heading out across the map currently. 4 Lings so far.
He can see it, but he's not reacting. It's in his vision.
4 Lings on the map so far, however.
And
the speed has started up and the bailiness has started up for Manor-Kid. Queen finally drones. Drones are getting pulled to clean this up. He does bring a couple of Lings back, however.
It will finish and get 1 Ling. Probably not worth the money, but the delayed mining time is nice.
Queen getting to work on this Overlord here, saying get off my lawn. Actually 2 Overlords are coming in right here. Always a bit of an interesting question to see why Overlords realize how close Overlords tend to get rallied or moved over to.
Yeah, it's one of those things where in the early game you don't really think about it, but probably should.
You see Manor-Kid with speed about to finish up, moving out on the map. Something interesting to note that a Roach Warren has finished up first for Spino, so he will be able to deal with these Banelings and these Ling pushes coming in. As Manor-Kid's speed finally finishes and is trying to decide if he wants to move out across the map here. I mean, there we go.
I think he should probably wait for speed, since he did go to the trouble of researching it.
He does have speed.
The question now is, will he be able to hold off this small push from Manor-Kid?
Which is actually something very interesting, because Manor-Kid is getting some Banelings here. The Baneling morph does get scouted. There are 4 Lings in the mix. As we know, these Roaches will just knock this down real quick. He does finally see the Roaches, but on the other side of the map, Manor-Kid did decide to take hatchery for 3rd.
I think Spino needs to go now. He's way up in Omi, and he just got scouted. Spine crawler going down, smart move, but he should be able to cancel this hatch if he goes.
Does he actually see the 3rd base? Yeah, he does see it. It looked like these Banelings didn't get much over here in the 3rd base at all.
As his
Banelings are...
speed finishes, that might be the time
Oh,
he's
this could be
for.
huge. There are 4 Banelings about to make their way into the mineral line of Spino here. If 1 does get picked off, 2 does get picked off, detonating and only getting 2 drones. Not
Nice
that juicy detonation he was hoping for, but Spino is
45 army supply to 16, and the push is coming across now. Manokid sees it plenty ahead of time.
his third base is actually a bit of an overextension. Currently, he's up against Roach Tech on 2 base versus just now getting his roaches out. He is going to have +1 Carapace out, but if he does this right, he should just abandon this third base. There's no way he's going to be able to hold this.
And he doesn't want these roaches to get surrounded too well.
He is fighting on the ramp, which, as we know, range units on a ramp are not the best place for them. As he will lose his third, realizing he should just pull this back and let it go.
He still has a pretty huge drone advantage.
He's actually just trying... He's actually very hesitant about taking this engagement. Had he backed up and got some Ravagers in this mix, this might be a little bit different, but he does have the Spine Crawler here backing up this army. All his roaches are battered and bruised, but +1 Carapace did finish up.
So there's 20 roaches to 12.
As the reinforcement line does just continue to come across the map. That might actually be it.
He has queens.
This might actually be it, is when these reinforcements get here. But Spino is bleeding out a lot of roaches here, and these queens are doing work in the back line as well. But he just continues to rally reinforce, and it looks like Manokid will hold. That +1 armor doing a lot of work, and he's actually moving up to the layer.
Roaches. I think probably overextended a bit. If he had put down his third hatch the second he killed the other one, now he's just down in drones and army. Getting a little bit too aggressive there.
Both players actually... Are both players on layer tech yet? No, he's actually still on his hatchery. So, Manokid taking his third base yet again. However, he is moving up to layer tech as he did see roaches. Which, as we know, the best counter for roaches right now is currently muted, as roaches don't up. So it looks like he might actually be going into that muted tech.
Although another counter to roaches is more roaches, and that looks like what he might be going for here.
Wait, see, because honestly, well, he's probably going to lean towards the muted tech because there wasn't too many spores anywhere on the map. This is a bit of overextension here. There are more roaches here to what he can DPS down.
Yeah, but the Corrosive Bile's doing a nice job of zoning out the forces of Spino.
Economically, right now, Manokid has a better position overall. Army supply is rather even. As his layer has finished up, we are seeing +1 range on the way with the roach speed. Looks like we will be seeing just roach on roach.
Still no layer out of Spino though, and that's gonna hurt. With no roach speed against roach speed, there are some pretty nasty scenarios you can get in with that.
So something of interest to note here is Manokid is taking a 4th base at the gold. If this pays off, his economic advantage will be huge, as it will be fueled by that gold mineral base. If roach all ends like this, it is actually probably one of the most crucial things you can pull or have. As you do see Ravagers morphing up on the high ground that will be spotted by Manokid's Overlord. First, the Bile's coming down. They're going to land on top of these roaches and pick off a couple for their trouble. As both players just kind of jockeying here, trying to get some position on this ramp. As Biles are landing on top of Manokid, he's just going to keep pushing right on forward. It's actually more of a bit of an overextension. This actually is going to be an extension here if he keeps this up. He should just wait on +1. His +2 armor, as it is only up +1 range on the way for Spino. So the upgrade advantage will be heavily in favor of Manokid if he just waits it out for a second. Thank you for the follow, Sassy Kitten. Kitty. As the fight will commence here, as we do see Manokid trying to push up into this slight concave of Spino.
Yes, I like the position of Spino. He's down in
Actually just drops a Corrosive Bile on his own Overlords there. As it looks like Manakid is going to move around here to this third base. Infestation
This is
Pit
a
on the
good
way back
position,
home.
though.
Trying to clean up this Spine Crawler. He did get 6 drones with that little move as well. As Manakid,
And
they're
even
actually...
if he loses most of his army here, he has a gold base and is ahead on workers now.
There's a concave here for Spino, a little bit stronger. As the Spine Crawler also backing in that army up quite a bit. His War Ravagers are getting morphed as well. He got a Manakid got an Infestation Pit here actually, so it looks like he's going to try and move into that tier 3 tech. Maybe you might be seeing the Windfesters coming out here shortly.
But am I wrong in that he doesn't have a lair yet?
Yeah, Spino still does not have a lair. And he's on 3 base as well.
That's gonna be rough.
This push might actually be it because he's behind on tech, behind on base, and Manakid is just cleaning house with this army, and GG will be called.
That game probably coming down to the failed aggression in the early game. He did get the third, but that overextension into the natural just snowballed from there.
We'll be right back with game number 4, I do believe this will be. Get our players in here. And so it is your team's map picks. Odyssey, Ire, and Blood Boil are out. Map pick. Use Abyssal, Defenders, Proximates.
Alright, the map pick is gonna be Defender's Landing. Man, we've had nothing but Zergs from Psionic Aftermath today. I thought he was tossed. That's what I told.
Alright, both players should give us a go-go. We'll get this game fired up.
Alright, so Defender's Landing. A notable map in itself. Very, very aggressive. Zerg versus Zerg is gonna be interesting.
Let's get these introductions on the way here on Defender's Landing. This very awkward map indeed. Spawning into the top right-hand corner of Defender's Landing is the green Zerg pieces from Insight Gaming. GI Geo Gamer. Very interesting name because I always think that's an L. Anyway, and spawning into the bottom, the left-hand corner of Defender's Landing, the blue Zerg pieces from Psionic Aftermath. It is the blue Zerg pieces of Gale Force.
And right away, double 12 pool. A 13-12, the most aggressive but standard Zerg cheese.
I'm actually rather
This
curious.
is gonna be interesting.
I'm actually rather curious to see which way this goes afterwards because, as when I offer Zerg, one of my favorite Zerg cheeses is a fast bailing nest, and that would be rather intriguing to see here. The fast bailing nest to follow this up.
Now, GeoGamer is actually not going to get a scout. He pulled his Overlord back for some reason. I may have been a misclick.
May have been a misclick.
But that's unfortunate. Gale will get a faster scout.
So, something to note of interest there, actually. It looked like Geo actually delayed a couple lings to get the extra 50 mineral for speed. So he will not have a queen, but he will actually end up catching up on ling count, and he will have a slightly faster advantage on speed, as 4 lings are already heading on the map. However, on the other side, they will intersect with the 6 lings of Gale Force.
Yeah, so if they are both A-moved, then Gale Force should get the better end of it. Oh, but he's on move command. Which
actually should give a slight advantage to surface area based on the start there. Geo takes the win there.
Oh, that's unfortunate in such low unit counts.
As already sorry to interrupt there, but Gale Force is throwing down that bailing nest.
And I like this call. You know it's going to be an aggressive game. A bailing nest has good aggressive and defensive capabilities.
Once again, also losing a few more lings here. His speed is about to finish up for Geo. Gonna pull his 3 back here. Very battered and bruised lings. Think he might pick up 1 more ling for his trouble. Nope. Speed is finished up for him as now. The speed and the bailings are morphing, however, for Gale Force. Well, Geo actually A-click. There he goes. He's A-clicking down these bailings. He is going to get the cancel on them. As the lings are rallying across, speed has finished up for both players. And Defender's advantage here to Gale Force, and the ling count is going to be in favor of Gale Force in this one. As Geo is actually going to get pushed back down this ramp and have to go home.
Yeah, but a natural coming out from Geo. Let's see if he can defend this.
As his surround is not getting what he needs to do on this fight in mid lane, as he does wind up getting the surround here in the rocks. His early ling choke points are always very agitating for anybody.
Hit. Oh.
He does doing a very good job dodging it. He does get one to detonate, but it caused what looked like 2 lings. Trying to get the 3rd one to detonate, or 2nd one to detonate. And he's just building nothing but lings right now with this hatchery. 3 more banelings are on the way for Gale Force, however. As 10 more lings are also on the production tab. Keep in mind his natural has been scouted, by the way.
The Roach one coming down for Geo.
Might actually be slightly behind on this. He needs to force his bailing to detonate. Picking up 4 lings there. That's actually a very good. That's actually a very safe detonation. Probably the safest you could get. That was it, however, as the entire Zerg line gets destroyed by 3 banelings. That hurts.
Huge.
However, the Roach Fort is finished. And already good to get 1 Roach fired up as soon as he can. Waiting on this larva to come out as a couple more banelings are about to finish up here.
And if he can get this hatched, that would be huge. That would be a game-winning move.
Trying to get the detonation on these lings before they get into the drone line. As they're all stacked up, and the detonation will pick up 3 drones.
3 and the natural died. So this is looking very good for Gale Force now. But he's gonna have to respond to this Roach tech.
Something to note though, Gale Force is yet to take a natural behind this, so he's very much all in on this. As there are banelings warping out here, they're gonna finish up! Oh my gosh, it was very close to another disastrous detonation for Geo. Alright, Gale Force is moving in, he's
starting an
early.
Evo before his natural. Very low economy.
There is an Overlord in position in the back here to drop. We do see 3 banelings rallying to that location. We will see some droplings coming in here on this already very low economy Zerg of Geo. His army supply is even and Geo is behind 1 worker. It's a very even game so far,
but he also had to build drones for the 3 that he lost. So he has roaches, but only 3 of them. He has very few minerals. He's very poor right now. So is Geo.
Gale Force is actually about to drop his 3 lings in on the side of his base here, as the armies look like they're going to run right past each other. Geo realizing he needs to come back here. He needs to respond as he needs to catch these banelings before they get on top of this mineral line. He's responding very late. The detonation is going to pick up 5 more drones.
5, that's very nice. And it looks like Gale is taking his natural. Yep, there it goes down.
Realizing he's going to have a pretty hefty economic advantage here as these roaches are going to get surrounded by these lings.
Oh, the Bane's coming in.
Going to clean up the lings.
Great hits.
But will Geo hold on? And there he will push it back. 3 battered and bruised roaches stand strong for Geo. I'm curious why he's not just decided to morph these into like Ravagers yet. I know his economic is very behind, or economy is behind right now. There you go.
Actually, I think Ravagers are a questionable call because Lings just do so much more damage because they have less armor.
Yeah, but he'll also get a little bit more DPS out of the Ravager, as well as extending that life a little bit from that Roach. As the Roach does get healed up when he morphs. Alright, another push coming in here.
12 Lings coming in. They could kill that Ravager.
He's trying to get his natural taken, actually. So one thing Geo could do here to actually stop this aggression a little bit, kill these rocks. Right here at the front of the base, there's some rocks here. You just knock this down, wall it off. And you now force your aggression to come all the way around from one side. Which is a much longer rally path as well. A lot of players seem to forget these rocks actually exist.
So +1 on the way for Gale. He's not looking to transition out of this Zergling tech, which could work if he gets enough, gets a good surround. But as this game gets longer and longer, I fear that these links will start to drop off in their cost effectiveness.
Keep in mind though that a natural has finished up for Gil, and one has already been cancelled. It looks like it might actually end up getting cancelled yet again by another run by Lings, making their way into the natural.
Geo moving out at a very inopportune time.
Gonna have to bring his army back. Hatchery is actually going to finish. He's going to try and save it. The transfusion is coming down. But is there just too much damage here from these Lings as they will get pushed off and it will fall once again.
That was very close, but actually wasting those banelings on broodlings. But I think Geo is gonna have to move across the map now, get some of his own damage. He sees that this natural has been taken. He's ahead in army, but at the same time, if he moves out, gets surrounded by Lings, that would be disastrous.
Interestingly enough, there is a spore crawler there. I wonder if that was response to the overlord from earlier, or if he did actually scout. He did. Gale Force's own lair.
The drone actually.
Gale
Force in this low economy game.
Yeah, Gale Force's own lair tech, and he just got a roach horn, by the way.
Yeah, I like this move. He's ahead, and he's going into the more viable late game comp. But he wants to put on some aggression again. He's not giving Geo any space to breathe.
I think Geo might have just said he's had enough and is going to go for it. These Lings are across the map. There's a lot of Lings here. Yeah, Geo's not turning around this time. He's going in.
No cancel. There we go. That's
There we go, on the other side of the map, Geo pushing right on top of the spine crawler. Just the lanes are going to come back, however. It should just be able to surround this army and clean it up. Is that going to be any enough economic damage to get this done, actually? He just lost his natural for like the 4th time.
Drones.
Yeah, it's still not going to be enough. This was a last-ditch move, actually. As these roaches are going to get cleaned up. He lost his natural. He's just rallying across, however.
And he pulled the drones from his main to try to attack, and then rallied them back. So that's a ton of delayed mining.
He killed
pretty much 0 income.
He killed 14 drones here for that push across. The value of that just doesn't seem to trade out as well for what he could have done. And just personally, what I feel like he should have done is just stayed home, close off this opening here as well, and then push the spawns on the other side and tried to get his natural saturated before he did anything else. But as Geo is going to be forced to tap out here very quickly. There it is.
And now it's tied up 2-2. Gonna have the deciding match.
We'll get our next players in here. My next player appears to be in a ranked match currently. 12 minutes in. Could be finishing up sometime.
Message him, tell him to pull the boys and all in.
Right back. While we wait on the next map, guys, get it straightened out here eventually. I guess the next match will be starting up very shortly here. It appears our next player, Aftermath, will have someone coming over. Have to answer the door, so to avoid any disruptions in the game, we're just gonna wait it out. Get the agreement anyway, maybe. Here we
Uh, yeah, we're going.
go. Okay, everybody's ready. All right. Maybe one more
So it's
match
gonna
after
be
this.
a
Actually, I think Pro League format there's usually a comeback player, as far as I know.
we only have 5 players. We can sort that out after.
Yeah, we'll take
Right
that
now
out.
we got a TVZ on Abyssal.
And spawning into the top left-hand corner of Abyssal Reef is the blue Terran pieces of Atomic Father. Spawning into the bottom right-hand corner is the red Zerg pieces of Ming from Psionic Aftermath.
So, Abyssal. It's a map with a lot of ledges, a lot of ramps, a lot of chokes. So, generally, Terran feel pretty comfortable on this map with siege tanks and liberators and those nice technological units. And the gas first of Atomic Fodder seems to be favoring that style.
Just a note, a lot of Terrans do this, by the way. They'll put their barracks out a little bit from the depot. Obvious sign that there will be something added on there, which is more likely going to be a reactor. With that being said, we probably will see a factory follow-up and more of a Cyclone Hellion push. Seems to be pretty strong lately. It's a Cyclone Hellbat push. Assuming he goes that route. Could just be a standard Marine timing. We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, SCV is going to come in here and scout. Good to see that there is a hatchery first with a pool. A hatchery gas pool follow-up.
Yep, very standard out of main. We'll see if his a seeming choice of Lings will suit him against whatever Atomic Father is doing.
You have a
Some
Reaper
players have
expand, by
been
the way.
skipping the gas to go fast roaches. I think that's probably a good build against any sort of heavy tech.
We do have gas first into the Reaper expand for Terran. As we do see a factory follow-up. Could be our reactor coming down here. There it is.
And Ling speed and 2 queens on the way. Should be prepared for this Reaper just as it comes in.
Four Lings did just finish up, so I'm going to try and see if he can't get this drone for his troubles. Getting this 4 crawler save there.
Nice little deny.
Wait to see if Atomic brings that Reaper back to try and get it. As it was canceled, that drone is still half health, so he's not going to make his way back in there just yet.
Probably wants to scout the main, make sure that there's nothing weird going on. Could get a drone in there, the Lings aren't the natural.
However, there is a Queen here to push away this Reaper. Get one? That's about it.
Oh,
He's going to get the second, and then he's going to have to get out of here. Very nice pickup there for that Reaper. And he's going to deny the third base, but the drone is going to kill the Reaper.
That's nice. I like that.
It's actually a bit of a hindrance to Atomic losing that Reaper, because he does have the Hellions out here. We do see Lings making their way across the map.
Important against Hellions, there are no spines and no roaches. Looks like he's just droning up right now.
This is a 1-1-1 type play here. He's going. Wait for the armor. Okay, there it is. So he is going to go into the Marine Hellbat push. Which is pretty standard currently right now for Terran DBZs.
Very powerful. If the Zerg doesn't respond with a tech other than Lings, they can be in a lot of trouble.
He's actually reading Banshees into this, by the way. As there is indeed a tech lab on that starport. He does have a spore collar down in the main, as well as the already reading pretty far into this, seeing the Hellions, so obviously the follow-up to that is going to be the Banshee.
Yeah, and also that nice safety. They're not very expensive, but you can really end up hurting if you don't get them.
So down here at the front, we do have our spore collar here for that medevac, and the spine collar is down as well. Overlord getting transfused, trying not to lose that Overlord. Spine collar not quite finished, trying to bait these queens into a better position, I guess. It looks like he says, nope, too much here, just gonna go on home.
7 queens, a lot of defense. Queens, a great unit overall.
Which, that being said, knowing that the Banshee follow-up is coming up, he shouldn't get too much out of this. However, the Spore Crawler was moved into Naturals, so that might actually play into effect later if he doesn't move it back.
Oh, nice run by coming in on the 3rd. Could pick off a good amount of drones.
Gonna focus fire them down, there we go. Trying to line these up, 2 drones falling already. The 3rd is being picked off as well as he's boxed in here. However, these Hellions are paying for themselves here. As he picks up 5 drones. He should be able to just roast these few Lings as well on the way out. Actually, just keep running.
Yeah, but wherever his Banshee is, I think he's gonna want to micro that. Cloaking Field just finished.
Speaking of which, where is that? There is that.
It's actually
just now leaving. Yeah, it's just leaving the natural.
And also, he's gonna confirm it by killing the Lings. Oh, and he's gonna kill his own Hellion. That's unfortunate.
Pepperoni, pepperoni. Anyway, it's just Banshee is on the map, just kind of hanging out. Not getting much out of her right now, as she's already on that smoke break.
Yeah, I think he knows. He revealed it pretty early on. He saw the Spore Crawler. He might be able to poke in, maybe deny some creep.
Yeah, we do finally have a lair on the way for Ming, but he did move the Spore Crawler back in his natural.
Yeah, he's prepared for this. With
Banshee,
this many queens and
Banshee is going to make its way into the 3rd base, however. Try and find whatever damage she can. Gonna poke here. Pick up 1 drone so far. Poke at these queens on the way out, as there is no detection here, and he is going to be able to spot this 4th base. 3rd base has finished up for Atomic, and there were a lot of barracks added on back home from Atomic, and Stim is about to finish up as well. +1 armor, and his +1/1 is on the way. Take a quick look at these upgrades here.
He's really getting a lot of barracks. Man, this is huge.
Something to note about this.
Down, but...
There's no Evo chambers. There's no Evos for Ming anywhere. There's 2 here, but he hasn't got any upgrades. I mean, 1/1 just now starting.
And the 1/1 of the Terran already finishing. The 2/2 right on the way. And +1 vehicle weapons.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get some tanks for this. He does have a factory on the tech lab. First tank is on the way. Dropping a scan into main to see exactly what is going on, and he does see the infestation pit morphing. Other than that, as far as what's missing, questionable. There is a Zergling over here in the 3rd trying to get an SCV. Did he lose an SCV? I don't know if he lost an SCV there. No, he didn't lose an SCV. 4 Banelings are making their way down the southern part of the map here, heading out west. Looking to see if they can profiteer on some gold SCVs. However, there is some army here to push it away.
Oh. And I'm paused at a pretty good moment. Nothing really happening at the moment. Just to point this out, there's a Thor on the way, which is an interesting choice versus Ling Bane. I think he may be anticipating mutas, but no Spire out of At least not yet.
Have to wait and see. I do more like less like Atomic's position right now on the upgrades, but he is going into a 5-base Zerg here, 3-base.
It's important to note though that Ming is down 500 minerals and income. He's against a Terran down 6 workers. That's pretty significant because of, you know, mules, and as long as he's dropping them pretty consistently, he's gonna really outmine Ming, even though Ming has 5 bases on the way.
Game resumed. As we're back in here yet again, Atomic is actually getting some gas over here in the third. Banelings are making their way in from the south here, however. See exactly what we can get out of these.
The Marines are there.
As they're all just gonna get cleaned up and not get anything anyway.
Maybe if he'd waited for centrifugal hooks, he could have killed a couple of Marines with that, but...
I just don't think he expected any army to be there. That's the thing, though, so... On the other side of the map, there is a lot of Banelings morphing tasteless. A lot of Banelings indeed, as that 5th base is about to finish up.
Currently, the units for him are 74 drones, really exploding into that drone count. 48 Lings and 18 Banelings.
Packer Marines in here to the south to try and deny some creep, maybe pick up a Queen. Does get him one for his trouble, trying to get that second one. He actually gets a Baneling detonation out of that as well. It's actually not a bad trade for Creep Timber and a Queen and 1 Baneling.
So with that scan, Atomic Father will see that the 1-1 is completed for Ming.
2-2's about to finish up for Atomic, by the way.
And so I think he's actually going to hit a really good 2-2 tank Thor timing.
He's also...
Ultralisk Cavern is on the way.
He's also bringing some Liberators with that. And as you say, yes, the Ultralisk Cavern is on the way.
No anti-air except for Queens, so the Liberators could deny a lot of...
We have Adrenal Glands coming down for our Zerg player here. We're going to have Cracklings on the way behind us. Is there any Infestors in this? No, there are no Windfestors in this army.
No. Infestors, they're very good, but
I just feel he's going to need something to tie down this army a little bit more. As he just started 2-2, Terran's all his way up to 3-3. And he's already making his way across the map with this huge army. Huge push coming out.
I mean, he's gonna need these 4 Ultras. He has 4 of them on the way, and he's gonna need nothing but units to hold this off.
Terran actually trying to shave off as many of these Banelings as he can before the engagement actually happens.
Good splits out of Atomic Father, and all the Banelings have now been detonated.
I'm just going to push on forward here. Ultralists are almost done. Literally about 2 seconds away, these Ultras will pop out, but there is no chitinous plating just yet for these Ultras. So Marines will still be able to trade against them. Another thing to note, they are only on +1 armor. So these Marines should be able to just chew up these Ultras rather quickly, and as he fights in top of the Liberators. First Ultras has already fallen.
Glands.
Bader's finally getting down this ramp.
Out.
As Ultras are stuck in the back there.
He's gonna push this back.
He will push this back, however, but these Liberators here, they do some damage to all these legs, and his Banshees are actually going to pick up a couple more Queens for the trouble. As the tank is on its way over. Meanwhile, however, it looks like Zergus just says enough's enough and is making their way out across the map. They cleaned up any Terran reinforcements that are on the way. Atomic realizing this and actually just finally fixing his rally.
Yeah, those Ultras taking a lot of damage, but now they're going to have 4 armor, as they have Chitinous and 2-2.
Aspire is finally on the way, by the way, as 3-3 does start up for Zerg. However, 3-3 is about to finish for Terran. The question here is, like, what exactly is Terran going to be able to do to answer this? Tank Liberator Marauder could do this, sure. But once when he realizes that there are tanks in the mix, like he already has done, You see the Raptors, the Broodlords come into play.
Yeah, and also I think these air units are sort of getting on his
The
nerves.
Liberator just died to a
Understandably.
Spore Crawler. And which is why my guess is going to be Corruptors are going to come out of this Spire. As to transition into that Greater Spire shortly after and then into the Broodlords. Atomic needs to make a play soon, however, he has only owned Marine Tech against Ultras. As we know, this is not trade well at this point in time, as Chitin of Splating has finished up and 3-3 is on the way. He cleans up one Ultra, splitting it up there, trying on micro against, but these Queens transfuse are keeping this Ultra alive, and he should clean up every single one of these Marines. As a rally comes in,
every one of them, but
as the Queens in the back will fall, he'll actually lose his sustain for that. So Atomic managing to clean up the Ultras, he's just going to push on forth into the 4th base here.
42 Lings on the way, and Thoi.
Even Atomic is going to focus down here. He looks like he's trying to focus on these Ultras, not focusing down the hatchery as much. Finally focusing down the hatchery. Is it going to fall? No, it will not. Stays alive with 182 HP. As reinforcements from Terran are marching out once again across the map, Thor is here to try and take down these Ultras. Getting cleaned up itself. Terran is just bleeding out units right now.
Yeah, I think he's afraid of the big tier 3 units. Broodlords, they will eventually happen. 3-3 will complete. So I think Atomic Father is really trying to put the pressure on while he still can.
Alright, one thing to note. Something interesting about Abyssal Reef, while there's a lull in the action here. This is expansion to the north. A lot of players forget this expansion even exists. They'll expand to the south, but this is a very agitated, like a very annoying expansion to have to check because it's so far out of the way. Just hidden, tucked away back there in the corner.
Yeah, definitely Atomic Father could get some good harass there.
Also, he lifted his main, by the way. His main's coming down here for 4th base. 5th base. One advantage Terran has being able to flip their buildings around the map. Atomic is realizing that he might want to check this out. Sending a detachment of units up here on this side. Actually, in a very good positioning right now because there is a drop in the south that will get cleaned up. But that also pulled the Zerg Ari completely out of position here as he's going to march his way into this 6th base up here in the north.
Yeah, he can probably get this hatch.
Ari is on the way over for Zerg. He should be able to clean this up.
Yeah, but that hatch is gonna fall. And this is just gonna be the struggle for Zerg, is trying to maintain their expansions while building up to that ultimate late game army.
So, there's 3 starports being added on here for Atomic. Trying to bring in that Viking count or Liberator count to deal with this air.
And how many Corruptors does he have? 12. I think this is his time. He has 12 Bailings morphing. He has Thoi. He can clean up this Terran army. And if he denies mining on that 5th base now, then that'll be big. And there we go, the units are up on the high ground, and he's not going for it quite yet. Maybe
I'm surprised he didn't jump. I'm surprised he didn't jump on these Corruptors. He's going to lose his Liberators here for that. As they flew right by his expansion, completely on a bad rally, but paying off for Ming is just going to push right on in here. Liberators resieging as fast as they can. Bailey's coming up the ramp and trying to clean up these Marines as the splits for Atomic are not going to be quite good enough, and he's going to lose a vast majority of his RE, knocking him down to 39 RE supply. 17 SCVs has fallen as the orbital command here should get picked off as well. As the Ultra's making his way up the ramp, that might actually be it.
Yeah, I think just he hit a good timing. He had all his tack out. He didn't have enough Liberators to effectively deal with the Ultralisk yet.
Something's interesting. I'm surprised he didn't just go on with the Marine Mine composition against this composition, or Ultra's Ling Bling. Splash damage is enough alone to take out half the Zerg army, leaving you with Ultras. As Marauders do increased damage against Ultras, you think it would be the best composition to clean it up.
As this base is falling from the Corruptors, I think that's it. really no.
The SCV
pretty
repair.
much no more income.
Always fun to watch SCVs try out repair. That is GG will be called.
Very good TVZ.
Reading the chat here. OP Sassy Kitty. Ooh, Ming and my daddy are fighting. It looks like there's a very interesting conversation that just kind of zoned out over there, focusing on the game. I believe that should be it. 3-2. I don't remember if there was a comeback chance. It's like gaming on this. Quick double check here to find out. Alright guys, so that will be the end of it tonight. The final score 3-2 in favor of Psionic Aftermath. Congrats to them. I also want to thank Snow here for joining me in casting tonight.
Thanks for letting me cast with you, man.
No problem, man. I usually don't have a co-caster, so it is a nice break to have some help there. And with that...
So, I believe we're going to be doing this next week, right? This weekly clan war with you guys?
I do believe so. I did set up a, just for information for everybody at Insight Gaming, as well as Psionic Aftermath. If you guys wish to watch Sunday, we have a match in All in the Nidus League, which is a 2-diamond, 2-master format there. It is all kill based, so there is that. That match will be at 6:30 p.m. I do have a match set up for Insight Gaming next week with Stillfly's Risen clan, or the Risen community, that is diamonds and plats as well. As far as setting up another match, Snow will get back to you, and I'll more than likely have another match set up for you. If not next Friday, probably Sunday. So we're trying to balance a lot of stuff right now because we're also a part of All in the Nidus, which is like an actual kind of like tournament-based season. So.
Well, it's been good casting, good games.
For sure. Definitely enjoyable to watch, and definitely good traffic for, streaming purposes. It's nice to have you guys join us tonight. If anybody wishes to catch up on the matches, I will put them up on my YouTube channel, which you can find in my stream information. And it'll be up on Twitch for approximately 30 days, I think it is. So with that, guys, I wish you all a very good weekend, as well as you, Snow, as well as Psionic Aftermath. And I hope to see you guys again very soon for another match. It's definitely enjoyable.
Yeah, see you, man.
Take care, bro.